I didn't become a teacher because that was my dream. I was in the fashion world and, you know, looking for something a little bit more stable at the time. And my mom thought, well, you know what, why don't you try, teaching? You're good with people, you're good with kids. And I'm like, sure, I mean, why not try it? So came back to Jersey and kind of got into teaching. I started out slow. I started substituting, and I was substituting all over South Jersey, and I really loved it. I connected with people. I connected with students. I connected with staff, and I was like, this is something that I could see myself doing. And honestly, if the opportunity presents itself, I'm gonna go for it. And that's what happened. I started substituting, then while substituting, I actually took a position at a community college teaching fashion as an adjunct lecturer. And I love that too, but again, it wasn't like super stable. It was only like really 2 days out of the week. And I was just like really praying for something stable. I knew after a while, like, okay, I really want to get into teaching. And if I could get into teaching fashion full-time, that would be perfect for me, because I went to school for fashion and I just didn't want to feel like I wasted my money. So lo and behold, some time passed, and I wound up getting a job as a teacher, full-time, as teaching fashion design. And honestly, the truth is, certain misconceptions I had, I'm thinking, yeah, it's gonna be steady. But the truth is, I was broke. I was broke because when I started out as a teacher, there were things as a new teacher that were not explained to me. I had no idea that teachers had budgets or were given budgets, and it wasn't explained to me. I was actually, I remember this, my first year of teaching, I maxed out one of my credit cards, buying fabrics, buying just different things we needed for the classroom, not knowing. I honestly didn't know, and no one told me. And yes, I regret going into debt, but I don't regret getting stuff for my students. Just looking back, I'm just thinking and reflecting, like, honestly, that's what we do as teachers. Sometimes we're not told we have a budget, or sometimes our budget is so low that we have to spend our own money. And keep in mind, we have families too. We have children. Some of us don't. We have family members that we're helping and, that need us. And sometimes we're running to Walmart right before they close to get supplies. We're going, to the fabric store or whatever. We're going and putting ourselves out there, even on our time off, on weekends, just to make sure we have the things that we need for the classroom. A lot of times, where I was at with our budgets, it would get lower. We would get promised a certain amount, but then when it came time to actually use that budget amount, it was actually even lower than that. So I just try to make the best of it. But I was broke. And I try to reflect on, well, what are the other reasons I was broke? Low budget. My pay was just something that, I didn't realize I could negotiate. It was my first full-time teaching job, and I was just happy to accept a job. So I didn't question anything. But now that I look back, I brought something of value to the table, and I probably could have negotiated that. But I was also broke because of a mounting college debt. And to this day, my students know, my former students know, I say this all the time, you have to be careful what school you're picking, because that can put you in debt. Next thing you know, you go to start a job after college, and that job may not be paying you that much. Just think about it. Just think with me real quick. You go to school and you take out a loan, and your college loans come to almost $200,000. You get out of college to get you a job that maybe starts you at $30,000. Even if they say they're gonna hire you at $40,000, that's before taxes. So really, after taxes is a lot lower than that. So you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? And it also, is this skill that I'm trying to acquire, do I need to go to school for it? Or could I learn that skill and figure out, how to make that skill work for me? I didn't think of these things before. I just saw my dreams, even going back as a young teenager. Oh, FIT. I was so excited. FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology in New York. I loved it. I got accepted, one of the top design schools. I did not think about the debt. No one talked to me about debt. I was the first person in my family to go to college. So no one, even at my high school, they weren't speaking to me about stuff like that. So I blindly went in and took out loans. Then trickled down the line, I get a job teaching, and I was happy for the stability, but it was stable as in I knew I was gonna be working 10 months, but the whole point was it didn't cover the debt. I had a mounting college debt, and on top of that, a low budget. So I was spending money that I didn't even have to just pay my debt and to get materials for the classroom. What I can say to you is this: before you make big financial decisions in life, whether it's to become a teacher, whether you are a teacher, just stop and think first. Think about that school that you're about to go to. Think about the cost. And to my teachers, if you're a new teacher and you're starting out of the school district and they haven't told you about a budget, you need to go and find out who you need to talk to, whether it's a mentor, your supervisor, HR. Go and sit down and ask questions. I didn't do these things, and I paid for it, literally, okay? I went into debt for it. So all I can tell you is to make wise decisions and to think deep before you leap. Before you go to college, think about the money and think about how it could impact your life, because you are going to have other events in your life that you will need money for. So just please, please, please choose wisely.